Hey everyone, either welcome back or welcome to my channel. And in today's video, I want to talk about and describe what it's like having brain fog when I have migraines. So before I get into any more details, time for the intro. One of the hardest symptoms that I think I've had to deal with, and I mean all of them are hard, but it's particularly frustrating because you're used to a certain level of brain functioning, and for me, my brain is usually pretty quick when I'm having good days, or even before I had migraines. I could think really clearly, and I could remember things fairly well on the spot. Throw in brain fog and it's a completely different thing that happens, and it's almost like I lose my ability to be who I am in that particular case. The first one I want to get into is that my memory does not work very well at all. What'll happen during this brain fog is I won't remember pretty much very much, if anything. I'm going to give you a scenario here, and for those of you who don't have migraines, it's a very similar feeling to as if you were trying to study or learn something new on 2 or 3 hours of sleep. So you are exhausted. It's very difficult to concentrate. Trying to think and trying to learn during these times are pretty much impossible. And I think people are surprised when, especially somebody young, and they're like, oh, I told you that the other day, you don't remember it? And it's just like, no, my brain was just not working properly because I was at the start of a migraine and I had this brain fog. Now, the brain fog for me also happens in the last phase of the migraine, so that post-drone phase. I do honestly think, though, it's a little bit different of a feeling in the different phases, but it is a type of brain fog. One is an inability to concentrate on anything, or it's like my brain stops functioning, and then the other one is more of a fogginess where you feel so exhausted, like you just ran a brain marathon. Like as if you've been writing an exam for several hours. It's a very different type of thing, and it's a very much a fatigue in that last phase. The next one I want to get into is issues with focus and concentration. One of the easiest ways I can actually tell that I might be getting a migraine is if I'm trying to do a lot of reading and all of a sudden I start having concentration and focus issues. And it just won't be that the pages are out of focus because my eyes are being funky. It's a specific concentration issue where I almost have to slow down and particularly focus extremely hard, because although I'm reading the words on the particular article or whatever I might be reading, nothing is not actually sticking. It's like if you're reading a book and then your mind goes to a different place and you were reading those words, but those words actually weren't computing. It's just like almost like an autopilot. It's like almost like you wake up 3 paragraphs later and you don't remember exactly what you've been reading. It's kind of like that with the concentration and focus issues that I get when I'm getting a migraine. Now, when I'm at the start of the focus and concentration issues, that's when I usually have to move on and go, okay, I will not be able to finish reading this or do this or focus on this until this has passed. And then once it has passed, I'm okay. But between the focus and concentration issues and then what's actually happening with my eyes, where sometimes my vision will double, It did that with IIH. I had double vision for several months without relief. This can happen when I'm honestly even enjoying something that I really do enjoy. Even if it's something I'm particularly interested in, spend a lot of time actually when I'm not doing my own stuff. It can be really quite hard because you just notice that you feel like you're not completely there in the moment. My whole point, I guess, with this is just saying that if you notice someone who has migraines, who may be having trouble focusing and all that, just give them a little bit of extra leeway because they're probably having issues with concentration and focus, and it's not that person's fault. It's a part of the migraine, and this is another one of those examples of how migraines are just so much more than the actual headache. The focus and concentration issues can be extremely debilitating, and even though it's not that particular thing is not particularly painful, it's important to have, I think, a lot of patience with it because it can affect that person so much. Another common thing that often happens when I go through these types of things is I have trouble keeping up, and it can seem like I may be on a delay with my responses, so I may take longer to respond than normal. And I guess my biggest piece of advice with regards to this is to just have patience with your family member or loved one. It's a lot that person is going through when they're experiencing a migraine, and patience is very important, I think, in this case. If you're enjoying my content, please feel free to subscribe. Remember that it's completely free. It just allows us to reach more people with IIH and migraines. When you're subscribing, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss any of my upcoming future content. If you enjoyed this particular video, be sure to give it a like. If you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram, be sure to like and follow. And as for now, that's it for today. Bye everyone.